What effect do you hope the books will have on its readers?
One of the many things that Steve has taught me is that learning is about knowledge, attitudes, and practice. And the book tries to get at all three of those dimensions. In terms of knowledge, again, we're trying to root our understanding of poverty in a biblical framework and in biblical revelation about the nature of sin, of humanity, and of Christ's redemption. But there's also knowledge in the book about just the best practices that are out there for addressing poverty in a way that's truly restorative for the poor. In terms of attitudes, we want the book to be used by God in some small way to affect change in our hearts. One of the messages of the book is that until we embrace our own brokenness, our own fallenness, our own sin, and our own need for Christ's redemption and healing, we're actually likely to do more harm as we work with the poor than good. And then thirdly, the area of practice. The book is full of practical ideas, principles, and then particular interventions that the church can use to minister overseas, but also here in our own backyard amongst the poor in our own communities.
And Brian earlier mentioned that good intentions aren't enough. I think the Proverbs, zeal without wisdom has some danger to it. And I've also noticed that there's this attitude of doing something is better than doing nothing. There's a problem, let's get out there, let's fix it. The reality is sometimes doing nothing is better than doing something that's harmful. And so this book, I think, hopefully will cause people to pause a bit and ponder a bit. What's appropriate actions? What's wise zealousness? Certainly don't want people to be less zealous. Just want to have people engage in a better way. Another thing that is part of my concern and Brian's concern as well is that we've got brothers and sisters ministering in their own context here in North America and all over the world. And what does it mean to really come alongside our brethren and really to turn them loose? What does that look like? And I'm concerned about the pattern that's been unfolding in this past generation of, if I don't do it myself, if I don't touch it and feel it, it's not real. And while I can appreciate that to some degree, sometimes that's just selfishness. It's really not dying to self, as God would call us to do. And so I hope as people read this book, they'll be thinking, what does it mean for me to be a good steward in order to help God's people that he's already got in place, both here and around the world, to be all they can be for Christ?